Lie down. Thank you, dear. Lie down. Come here, Glenn. I'll put him away. When I was in high school, we had a border collie on the farm that we used for everything, and we herded everything, including the chickens, with her. The border collies are fairly easy to train because they have an instinct for the work, and we didn't really know how to train her, but we used her. She did the work that we wanted done. Way, get back. Way back. We didn't have sheep until I was about, I think I was about 12 years old when we got in the sheep business, and it just sort of evolved that way. I got into the sheep business, and it was good to me, and I stayed in it and showed sheep from all over the country, judged many state fairs for several years, and got to be, very successful in the purebred sheep business. And the dogs went right along with that. I always think that if you've got more than 2 sheep on a farm, you need a dog.
Henry's carrying a crook with him, and we'll show you why. When the shepherd goes to the field, he carries this stick. You see there how he can reach under, grab that lamb. Now you can turn it over and work on it, look at it. He needs to, and see Dixie work. She brings those lambs right to him, holds them. When he's done then with his lamb, he turns it up, and the rest. Actually, I met Henry at a livestock show in Pennsylvania, at the Pennsylvania Farm Show. He was judging a sheep show, and my friend was there exhibiting sheep, and I was helping her. And of course, we were just having a bit of fun, if you will, and I went out and pretended I was judging that class, and he turned around, and there I was handling the animals like I was judging, and he started laughing, and we started laughing, and he came up to me and spoke and just started to visit, so it just went on from there.
So we're going to have to watch her.
I just love animals. I love to see them when they're born, to watch their progress as they grow. There's nothing like watching a newborn get up on its feet and get going and get nursing, and then to watch that same animal, whether it's a dog or a sheep or a goat or a calf, just progress and grow and know that you're producing a good product. With the puppies, of course, it's just fun. It's just fun to watch them grow and grow into their own and get confidence with their instinct and be able to move the stock and just gain by leaps and bounds as they know they can do that. And it's just very rewarding.
Are you going to be a good boy? Huh? So, yeah, I'm going to grow up and be a big boy. Big sheepdog.
We used to milk, and I used to milk a lot of cows when I was in high school. My brother and I milked 15 cows a day, every day before we went to school and in the morning, and then separated the cream from the milk in a separator. We sold the cream, fed the skim milk to the pigs. That's it. Some for the kids. Think that anybody that should have to work, they need to work on something they enjoy, or they should get a new job. at 6. Well, I guess the most difficult part of this business, or the livestock business, is to figure out how to make a profit at it. It's just not, it's not near the business that it used to be. I don't really know why, but it isn't.
We were making premixes for livestock, which was a vitamin mineral blend. It would be similar to the vitamin mineral that you take to supplement that which is not in the diet. Really, the face of agriculture is just changing so drastically. When we first started in business in the state of North Carolina, 85% of our business was swine premixes. And now, North Carolina, I think, is number 2 in the United States on number of swine produced, but there are only a handful, I'm going to say 6 or 7 producers in the state. Everything is contracted, the same as poultry. So now there is not a niche for our product. It's all completely done by one company from the time the pigs are born until they're marketed in the grocery store. So there really was no room for us, and we've seen that happen in swine and poultry, and the dairy industry is going that way too. So it just is a changing facet of the agricultural industry, and when it got economically not feasible for us to do it, instead of taking any losses, we just said, that's it, we're closing. So that's what we did. That was difficult, and I know that seems inconsequential compared to, I've lost both of my parents. That was very challenging and very difficult. But this past year, that one's been the toughest, is not having that regular job. And I've got plenty to do, and I'll get some of that done, but I went back to work. I started another business. I'm online doing a business because I must work, period. I guess I'm like an old retired workhorse or racehorse. You just don't take a racehorse off the track and stop it today. You have to kind of work it back.
Well, right now, at this stage in my life, I think most of my farming is pretty much a hobby. It gives me something to do to stay out of trouble, actually. Well, I tried a theater, and that didn't work out too good, and I tried a restaurant, and that didn't work out too good. I made donuts for a while. That was not too bad. Well, I have to have something to do to keep busy. I just don't like to sit down and not do something. I've always had border collies ever since I was 15 years old, which is quite a while. I do competitions with them, and I do demonstrations with them, and around the country I've competed all over the United States with them, and we've been extremely successful. We've won many major trials, and the national finals we've won. We had the Dog of the Year 3 different years. They're a little tougher to do than some, and
lie down.
I love to watch them work.
Lie down. Come by, come by, come by. Boy, they're wild this morning.
It starts with a pup, like this litter of puppies we have now. There's a puppy in that litter that I liked the very first week, and she may not be the best puppy in the litter. John Thomas once told me, when we're about picking a puppy, he says, what you do is you pick the puppy that you like and you make it the best. And there's something to be said for that when you've got good breeding, because all puppies, when you've selected as long as Henry has, and he's been breeding since the early 60s, we don't get puppies anymore that don't want to work. And it's just fun to watch them progress. And watch it click, if you will. And we've had puppies at 5 and 6 weeks of age that we've had in the barn, and they just get, when they see the livestock, they hit that crouch and they get down and they stare, and the sheep actually respect them because they've got enough power in that eye that they move. And those little puppies, I mean, they are on it like a big dog, and they have full control of what they do. And it doesn't matter how many puppies, how many times you see it, just every time you see it, your heart just floods with like, oh, you just are so excited. And from that step forward, you're just off and running, and it's just fun.
What it is, you got to have a good relationship with your dog, and you got to like your dog. The dog has to like you if you're going to ever do any good with them. They must have your respect in order to train them. Well, we take good care of them and get a bond with them. And we like them, and they know it. That's about the only thing I can say about that.
He doesn't like to, he wouldn't admit that he was soft-hearted, but I can tell you he loves his animals and he loves his dogs. And I've seen him break down, when it has to be time to put an old dog down. And he might be pretty gruff when you're around, but I'll tell you, his dogs are loyal and they love him. And your dogs don't love you that way if you don't love your dogs. That I know. It's not an 8-hour job. I mean, when you're lambing, if it's a 24/7 for 2 or 3 days, that might just be what it is, with a 15-minute nap on the couch. And never a complaint or anything else, that you just do what it takes. The same with the dogs, maybe that's it. Maybe it's just we're both silly, with this work ethic that we have. And maybe we're crazy to work the hours that we do, but we're very happy, so I don't think so. I think we're doing exactly what we want to do.
Gorgeous.